Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero. We are back again talking about how Ubisoft's alleged original plan for Assassin's Creed Shadows was revealed before it was ditched in favor of pushing DEI agenda with Yasuke and Naoi. So apparently it's supposed to be a Japanese man, but we'll get more into it from that part place here. A massive alleged plot leak claims to reveal what Ubisoft originally had planned for Assassin's Creed Shadows before it ditched it in order to push the DEI agenda with Yasuke and Naoi. This plot leak comes from YouTuber Endymion, who previously revealed that a number of sources informed him that Assassin's Creed Shadows featured a male Japanese protagonist, as it should. It should have been a male Japanese protagonist over Yasuke. Completely. 100%. Finally get an Assassin's Creed set in Japan and you don't even get to play as a Japanese man. In that rumor, Endymion noted, quote, "I was also told when they originally saw the game there was indeed a male Japanese protagonists with their own finalized art and even animations. They don't know if this character will be reintroduced to replace Yasuke, but they're skeptical that Ubisoft will actually remove Yasuke altogether due to the whole political, backlash they'll get from journalists and so on." Yeah, the backlash from the journalists will be swift if they remove Yasuke from the game, as they've been pushing this since he was announced, basically, how he was a samurai, but he wasn't actually a samurai, because he wasn't. He later shared that this male Japanese character was sidelined during the game's development in 2020. The game did first include a male Japanese main character, but they were swapped sometime during 2020, according to my source for Yasuke instead. When asked why Ubisoft chose Yasuke over this male Japanese character, Endymion revealed, quote, "They said that Ubisoft was heavily influenced by the socio-political events of the time with stuff like, and no, I'm not kidding, this terrible thing and all the Summer of Love going on." He added, Ubisoft may have opted in to include Yasuke in order to pander to identity politics because of BLM. Furthermore, he shared that his source informed him that Ubisoft was horrified by the response to Yasuke from the fandom, because he's not really a samurai. You guys claim that he's a real samurai. He's going around, deleting Japanese people and destroying people's businesses for some reason. Because that's a great way to show off this character for your next game. And they actually thought including him would be a really big selling point for the game. It wasn't. They apparently believed by inserting Yasuke that they could garner and pander to the modern audience, because the modern audience, again, doesn't exist, as we said on the channel over and over again, doesn't exist, and they don't have money to buy things, so they ain't buying this game, just like they ain't buying all the other stuff that are used to pander to them. This rumor was seemingly denied by Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson. Henderson addressed the rumor after ex-user The Focus wrote, "Originally Yasuke was a Japanese man, then 2020 Summer of Love happened, and Ubisoft decided to change the main character to a black man. A lot of insiders have come forward," and then he replies, "Not true." Obviously, they have to run damage control, because this game's going to flop. It's going to completely be DOA. Assassin's Creed's been, honestly, deleted since, I would say, Black Flag, I think, was the last great one in my opinion. I mean, Syndicate was good. Unity was a complete failure and flop. I didn't really care about Mirage. Valhalla was boring. Things of that nature. Now Endymion has new details regarding what he alleged is the original version of Assassin's Creed Shadows that did not feature Yasuke nor Naoi, but rather a Shinto monk named Taka Yamauchi. He shared, "I was contacted by someone who worked on the original version of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they laid out to me what the story was before it was eventually scrapped by Ubisoft for the Yasuke story." Quote, "Originally the plot of Shadows was supposed to surround a piece of Eden, like other games called the Sword of Eden. It was an Isu artifact like the apple or the staff in Odyssey, but this sword would corrupt its wielders with power and then give them dominion over others," he relayed. This would have been a much better game choice as far as story and character design, considering, again, you're in Japan, and for most of the plots in Assassin's Creed, you're playing as a character from those areas. Even going all the way back to the original Assassin's Creed up to Mirage, you are playing as a character native to the area in which the game takes place. I don't know why they thought this was a good choice for this, but let's continue. The hero of the story was named Taka Yamauchi, who was a Shinto monk, Endymion revealed. Now again, take this with a grain of salt, it is all rumor. It's not 100% confirmed. Taka was decided to be a follower of Shintoism because it was a unique religion within Japan at the time, which would give Taka an interesting viewpoint of the world around him. This was chosen because the writers on Shadows wanted to give the audience a glimpse into a world that was foreign to them. And it was juxtaposed against the idea that this Shinto monk wanted nothing to do with conflict or the wars that were being engulfed by nobles. Most monks are pacifists, so that would make a lot of sense. So pretty much the hero was a nice guy who wanted to garden all day and meditate. But of course, like any good badass, the danger finds them eventually. Apparently, the story would have switched into high gear when Oda Nobunaga was deleted, he said. Next in Endymion detail, Taka Yamauchi, our hero, would be in a nearby temple when the fall of Oda Nobunaga happens. A fugitive would then come to Taka's temple from that said battle and would reveal himself to be Hattori Hanzo, who, if you don't know, he was one of the legendary ninjas of that time period in real life. He was an actual person that was instrumental to the legend that we know today of Japanese shinobi. Hattori Hanzo would be wounded upon meeting Taka and would reveal that he had one possession in his care, which would be revealed as the Sword of Eden, taken from the hands of Oda Nobunaga, after his passing by Akechi Mitsuhide and his band of deleting, power-hungry samurai brethren. He continued, Akechi Mitsuhide would announce that Hattori Hanzo was a traitor for stealing the sword, pinning the whole deletion of Oda Nobunaga on him, and using the confusion of the chaos of his lord's passing to make it seem like Akechi was not the one who landed the deletion blow. So the entirety of Japan was out looking for the shinobi man who, unbeknownst to Taka, was carrying the Sword of Eden that could change the fate of Japan depending on who wielded it. Endymion did not stop there. He shared more. Taka would agree to treat Hanzo's wounds and would shelter his presence from Akechi and his samurai. Within this newfound trust, Hanzo would reveal to Taka that he belonged to a mysterious clan unbeknownst to the outside world of Iga shinobis that were working to save Japan from the clutches of Akechi Mitsuhide and his corrupt samurai. These Iga shinobis would be revealed as the Japanese branch of the Hidden Ones, and this is how Taka would get introduced to the Creed of the Assassins. This would have been a much better game, and most likely would have sold a lot better, and wouldn't be DOA. At least in my opinion. He explained Akechi Mitsuhide and his men would also visit Taka's temple looking for information about whether they saw a wounded man carrying an item on him, but Taka would skillfully dissuade Akechi and him and then throw them off of Hanzo's trail. Endymion then revealed, quote, apparently one of the big branching narratives was going to be Taka going against Toyotomi Hideyoshi. At some point in the story, I was told that this Toyotomi Hideyoshi would come into possession of the Sword of Eden himself, and he would then use it to sway the people of Japan to his side. Otherworldly magic and all that. And Taka, now part of the Iga Shinobi's Hidden Ones, would be waging a secret war against Toyotomi and Akechi in order to secure the sword and ensure Japan was freed of this Templar/Samurai rule. Apparently, Toyotomi would refer to himself as the Demon King of the Six Heavens and was clearly becoming corrupted by the Isu technology within the Sword of Eden that was warping his mind and likely turn him into an untrustworthy madman who would think that everyone was out to get him. According to my sources, the story would eventually end with Taka defeating Akechi Mitsuhide for deleting Oda Nobunaga, and eventually, within the shadows, taking down Toyotomi Hideyoshi, claiming the Sword of Eden for the Iga Shinobi Hidden Ones. The story would then end with Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was the first shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate, ushering a new era for Japan that would span from 1603 all the way to 1868 when the Meiji Restoration would happen. And from what I understand from this story, Tokugawa Ieyasu would not use the Sword of Eden to control the people of Japan. Instead, he would use charity and community to usher in a new era of Japan. The story would have ended with Shinto monk Taka Yamauchi fading into the shadows with the Hidden Ones to conceal the Sword of Eden so that it may never be used by another madman ever again. Much of these plot details are not new. In fact, they were previously shared to X back in May by Chris Fisk, who worked on the contract in the area of games and entertainment as a contractor with Ubisoft back in 2013 and 2014. Fisk shared a brief synopsis of what Ubisoft was working on when he was working on the game over a decade ago. The plot focused on the young monk Yamauchi Taka as the playable ancestor. Taka means hawk to coincide with the then naming convention of every playable hero being named after a bird of prey. No idea if that changed with all these newer disjointed games. No longer Desmond as the core hero. He continued the main conflict was about the Sword of Eden. We already talked about that. From there, he detailed that after Nobunaga is taken out by Hattori Hanzo, Taka becomes a part of the Brotherhood, and under Hanzo is trained as an assassin or shinobi. The Brotherhood try to transport the recovered sword of Japan, but are beset by a Templar, Jesuit, ships, and it is lost. So yeah. Oh yes, this is an individual, Chris Fisk, who makes a great comic known as the Finatail Chronicles #1. Get it on Amazon. So, in a subsequent post, Fisk shared more details. I believe Hideyoshi Toyotomi was initially being manipulated by the Templars, but when he failed to be a trained dog and fall in line, he was seen as too dangerous and unpredictable to the Order. Hideyoshi's ambitions grew to more than just Japan's unification after getting the sword. Taka used this to his advantage and exploited the spy network of spicy women from his master's defeated former ally Mochizuki Chiyoma to learn how to steal the sword from Toyotomi. There were European presence in the original treatment, but after losing the sword, Toyotomi believed he was betrayed by the Templars and has Japan purged of all Jesuits. Without backing the Templars and loss of the sword, there's a lot to read. Much of this information was incorporated to Ubisoft's iOS exclusive Assassin's Creed Memories mobile game that was released in August 2014, but was shuttered in March 2015. The game featured Yamauchi Taka and his mission to recover the Sword of Eden. It doesn't appear that Fisk is Endymion's source, given Endymion claimed that his sources were flown out to Japan in 2015. They said they were very quickly flown out to Japan after being hired by Ubisoft for this very ambitious project. They also took main notes while researching the historical period, and they found navigating a foreign city to be very challenging to do at the time. On the weekends, they said they were taken to various temples and shrines and were shown concepts like Shinto purification, hand cleaning rituals, and shrines that existed before modern day skyscrapers. Holy crap, this is long. Next, he hinted at the possibility these plans might have been put into memories. They also told me that they are still mad to this day that Ubisoft was willing to invest so much time and money into what they were calling a bad mobile game over their AAA Japanese Assassin's Creed game. Endymion speculates that these insiders were discussing the codenamed Assassin's Creed Jade that Ubisoft is developing with Tencent, but it's definitely possible they were talking about memories given the similarities found in the mobile game. So yeah, apparently, after reading all that, I know it was a very long read, I sure hope people are still around in the video, but, you know, it's crazy to me that these are the types of awesome concepts that they had for this game, and they completely got rid of that just to kind of virtue signal with this character who they claimed is a samurai who's not actually a samurai, and it's weird to me that they would even do this rather than going with this original concept. If it's real, and this is a real concept they had, it sounds heck of a lot better than whatever the heck they got right now going on with this game. And man, I would really hope that with everything going on, they would just outright cancel this game, because this just seems like it's going to be a train wreck and a dumpster fire at the end of the day. You could literally pay Ubisoft $17 for their subscription, play Assassin's Creed Shadows, then cancel your subscription. There you go. You've paid $17 to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think that would be a much better option for your money, especially since they give you the Ultimate Edition, so that means you can play it 3 days early. So I think that would be a better option if anybody wanted to actually play this game. Oof. This game to me is just going to be flat out DOA on arrival. Especially since it's now mashed up against Monster Hunter Wilds and a Yakuza game. The Pirate Yakuza game. Holy crap. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below how you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all, that way you get a notification anytime I post a new video, go live on this channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.